Hi everyone, Miss Sella here from Learn to Grow. I hope that you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to plant some herbs in these containers. And this is one of my favorite ways to plant herbs just because of the convenience. You can place that pot or container anywhere where it gets enough sunlight, near your kitchen, maybe on your deck or on your porch. Now when you're planting herbs in containers, you want to plant ones that have similar light and moisture needs. In this pot here, in this window box container, I'm planting some rosemary, thyme, golden yellow thyme, and some compact Greek oregano. These herbs also thrive best in full sun, so it's a great combination to plant them in this pot. Now in another pot, I'll be planting some basil, parsley, red rose basil. I think it's just so beautiful, except look what happened. Looks like some slugs or insects got in there and started eating it, but they smell similar to the regular large leaf Italian basil, except it's got a pretty color. And some chives. These four herbs I'll be planting in a separate container because they are moisture loving plants and they thrive in full sun or partial shade. These moisture-loving plants, they almost need to be watered every day during the hot summer months, otherwise they start wilting and they start drying out. Now the rosemary, thyme, and oregano, they somewhat prefer drier, lean soil. They don't have to be watered every day, maybe 3 times a week during the summer. If it's really hot, then probably water it every other day. When you're planting your herbs in container, you want to place them in the same depth as it was in its original container. This has the peat pot, so it's biodegradable, it'll break down. Dig my hole here, place my plant. I don't know if you can see that, but I have it the same depth as it was when it was in the pot. Just put soil around it and firmly press. The same thing with this golden thyme here. Make sure when you're taking out your plants from the pots that the soil's moist. It's easier to take out of the pot. Place it in there. Put soil around it. Gently press. Time to give them some water. We're all finished here. One thing I want to mention is when you're planting your herbs in containers, they are going to stay small, so they're not going to get as big as when you're planting them in the ground. So you might want to make sure that you keep them trimmed back and use them as much as you can, since the containers are not that big. They don't have enough growing room in there. So you can keep them compact so that way they will do well in your containers. So I'm going to show you how they look like, and also a couple of my mint plant family, and want to show you how they're doing. Here they are. Don't they look pretty in these containers? I went ahead and left the plant tags on them as well. That way it's easier for other people to determine, and also my children love to know what we're growing. These also would make great gifts. So if you know someone that are new to gardening or want to learn and also loves to have fresh herbs, to show you a couple of the herbs from the mint family. This one here is lemon balm. These are the ones that I took home from my children's school, the extra plants that they didn't want about 3 months ago now. And you can see the difference between the one in the pot I have here and the one in the ground. They were about the same size plants when I planted them. They grow sideways, so they do best in the ground. Unless you want to just keep them contained and not propagate all over your garden, it's best to keep them in pots. The pots that I recommend using is the window box plants, which are the long rectangle ones, so that way they spread sideways and they grow better. If you keep them contained in these round pots, they don't do as well, which I noticed with one of my spearmint plants a couple years back. It eventually died because it had no space to spread and grow. Here is another example. These are both chocolate mints. I planted this one in the ground about 6 weeks ago from the exact same pot as the one to the right here, and they were about the same size. And as you can see the difference, the one on the ground is growing at a much better rate. I hope you guys found this episode helpful, and if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in with us at Learn to Grow. Have a wonderful day and happy gardening.